Today we are going to learn about what is web3. So actually there was nothing like web3, web1 and web2 before web3 came into the picture. So web1 is something that we experienced in 1990s, early 1990s, when internet was uh, coming into picture. So this is so that time we were only able to read the information from the internet. Okay. Next is web 2, that people started to experience after or around 2004, when Facebook was launched, and when people started to use Facebook, where they could read and they could even interact with the internet. So that is read and also write. Okay. So examples of web 2 is of course Facebook, white YouTube, and then even blogs. So anything on internet, actually everything people can do, and people themselves can do, and people can consume also. Even applications, mobile applications, websites, people can create their own websites and application, and they can put it on the internet. Previously it was like only they can consume, only they can interact with it, and they cannot put something of their own. So this is the characteristics of web 2. Now this is the web 1 and web 2 mostly people are aware of. Now web 3, this is something very new to the market for the people, but it has been around for a while. So what we can do in web3 is we can of course read, we can also write, and we can own the data. So here in the case of web 2, whatever we read and whatever we write, information or data or content, that is stored in a centralized server. Let's say Google server, Microsoft server, or whatever server, whichever company's product you're using. But in web 3, it is owned by them, and they can do whatever. In web 2 they can do whatever they want to do from your data. They can sell it to someone else. They do sell it, although that is another privacy issue and government is working on it. Or they can use your data and show you the products, relevant products, and all those things. But in web 3, you will have ownership of your own data. For example, so now there is a confusion, like what does that mean, that I have the ownership of my data? Is it like the data that I'll be interacting with, will it be stored in my own computer, like my own like in the memory of my own computer or laptop? So it's not like that. Ownership means that you will have you will have the ownership, means that without your permission no one can use your data. Let's take example of uh, cryptocurrencies. Okay. So here what happens is that, suppose you own one bitcoin, uh, and suppose you own $1. $1 is stored in a bank. One bitcoin is stored in bitcoin blockchain. Okay. And when you give your $1 to the bank, they can use this $1 and they can trade it, they can use your money, they can lend it to some other people, and they make money through that. But in this case, in cryptocurrency case, which is backed up by blockchain technology, you have the right over your currency. This currency will be attached to your private address. Okay. So unless and until you don't give permission to like trade it, to use it, without your wish, it cannot be used by anyone. Like anyone who owns the, whoever is on the network and all, it cannot be just used without your permission. This is one thing that is making it revolutionary technology. And the second thing is that, yeah, and also how you own it and what is this private address and all, everything we will be discussing in the coming videos. Second thing is that uh, it is transparent. That means that all the transaction happening in any blockchain, uh, be it Ethereum blockchain, Bitcoin blockchain, Polkadot, Solana, you will be able to log in and check all the transaction from the day one, from the transaction one. So it is completely transparent, no one can just mess up and do some scam and all those things. So that is why it is very robust and trustworthy.